Okay, so wait, did you go? Okay, my presentation is how not to be a civil engineer. Kind of misleading because from the end result of my project. My initial idea was that basically I went down from like a big issue like global warming, and then I narrowed it down very specifically to New York City, where you have like a problem of congestion, and that would. So I focused on trucks because that was the main issue. Some things that were happening were like, if you have nothing on the side of the road, trucks would literally just stop in the middle of the road, unload for an hour, and then they go, and now you're blocking a whole lane of traffic. Another thing is that because a lot of trucks are idling, basically they're generating a ton of pollution just sitting there. Like just going through New York City, you can probably drive like a few miles down a highway, and you'd be generating the same amount of pollution. And so my original plan was to take like a map, and then I'd redraw it. So maybe something like, because there's already grid lines, I'll just put grid lines of subway systems, because what I wanted to do was have all the trucks stop up above, unload everything onto a subway system, and then that will deliver it down. Obviously, that is a really bad idea, because if you look at it, there's already a large network, but to extend it more, like you just go here, but there's not really more you can go. And the city obviously is not going to go there because it costs millions and billions of dollars to do that. So since that didn't work, I moved on to another idea, which is more reasonable, is that since every single one of the small gray lines, I don't know if you can see it, that's a station. And there's a lot of them. So I was thinking, well, what if you just build another platform on there, and all the trains with freight on it can just go into another platform, unload? Well, then that just goes on to another issue, is that people don't change. Okay, right now everyone's trying to be more, get stuff given to them. I mean, Amazon even has a thing where they'll literally go into your house and deliver your packages. And this is like requiring people to leave their homes, go somewhere and get it, and that's not really going to happen. So basically, what I learned from this is that a lot of times in projects, you will fail. And so when I was doing this, when I originally began, it was like I was thinking, oh, I'll just have a project, I'll get it done, I'll make this product, and that'll be it. And by today, I'll look at my map. But what actually happened was I had one project, and like after a month of trying to make like little drawings on a piece of paper or whatever, I realized, this isn't going to work. These drawings not going to make sense. It's not realistic. So I moved on to the next one, which was talking about the platform. And then I was writing a letter, and I was like, okay, I'm going to send this to the Department of Transport. Never got a reply. But obviously, that's not going to work. They're never going to do that because it costs so much money, and it's relatively unrealistic. And now going back to like not working, is that a lot of times in school, you're given like a project. Like let's say if someone tells you to write an essay, you're kind of expected to like have a final product, and it's it's good by the end of it. But when you're doing a project like this in the real world, a lot of times you won't get that you won't achieve that final project. And so it's like also the thing is like I thought at the beginning, I don't know why, but I thought at the beginning, as one person in probably 3 or 4 months, I would make something that would work. If thinking about it now, that doesn't seem realistic. You have people, probably 20, 30, maybe like 1,000 people, 24 hours a day, working on how to solve this problem, and I'm working like a few hours a day, for 3 months. And if I happen to solve this problem, then maybe I'm a genius. But clearly, that's not the case. And like, what we need to learn really is that school does not give an accurate representation of what will happen in real life. Here, you're given an assignment, you do the assignment, you're done. In real life, you'll probably fail. Even if I solved it, it's an ongoing issue. Like, for example, there are like 35 million trucks or something like that in the United States. And, emission rates are going up every year because, no one is stopping. And some things are being forced to stop, but they're only like limited regulations because you can only do so much to prevent an issue. And so really with this is that I had a project. It didn't work out too well, but there's still a lot you can go with this project. And I don't know if I'll continue, but if I do continue, I see that like this will be a pollution and all that stuff would be a big issue in the future. So, maybe I will continue it going on, and since this will affect all of you, maybe all of you would also like to look into it in the future. Thank you.
Question.
So this New York City, like when you homed in on it and tried to work it out and it didn't work for you, why didn't you try going into other major cities?
I did look at another city, which was Chicago, and in that one they had a different issue, which was the train system. It's that there's a huge rail yard, because they just kept expanding the rail yard. There's like 3 tracks to leave Chicago, and you're trying to move like thousands of trains out, and I think it said it takes about the same time to leave Chicago that it takes to get across the United States.
So what I heard from your presentation, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you kind of approached this project like you've approached every other project you've ever had in school.
Yeah.
Which was completely the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So if you were to do it over again, how would you approach this project differently? Would you take on a completely altogether different topic, or would you do your initial research differently? Like, what would you do differently?
I think that, well, one option could be to go to a different topic, but if I stayed on this topic, I think it'd be easier if because like the really big issue, like New York City, that's just a tiny issue, like lifestyle change, but the really big issue is like the pollution being caused. I think if I took that on, like on that whole scale, because then I have a lot more options in projects. It's not just, oh, how do I fix congestion?